Hello and welcome to another episode of Invalid Entry, and I actually get the channel name right today. This is ignore that, it's the 13th of December, and again we are in the lounge. I'm pre-recording this one by day to just get ahead slightly. What we're going to do today is we have this snowstorm from yesterday, drifting down the page, a bit of randomness going on, and what I want to do is I want to start the snow piling up at the bottom here, and then eventually we'll start building it into the nativity scene where actually it will pile up against the house or the Christmas tree. Well, I'm going to do that again. This is just a bit of fun, this is a bit hacky doing this, but I'm going to introduce an array of the snowdrift. So we're going to have an array here, it's going to be empty, and then for in range width, we are going to just set that snowdrift to being the height. So think about it, the height being the bottom, it's all going to be across the bottom. So we're going to have an array of numbers there. Down here, what we're doing is we're detecting on the foreground. I'm not going to worry about the background for the moment, but on the foreground, we're going to detect whether or not the height is greater than the height. So we're going to change that here. And actually, what we need to do is access the array. So the current height. Now, remember that the snowflake is 4 pixels wide, so to begin with I'm just going to access just the 1 pixel, but we can extend this later on. The current height is snowdrift, and the coordinate across is flake 0, because of the element across. That tells us the current height of the snow at that point. So if flake 1 is greater than the snowdrift height, or the current heights, I'm just going to use that actual value there. And at that point, we know it's reached the snowdrift. It's reached the snowdrift, so we want to reset it. But also, what we want to do is we want to make that snowdrift slightly higher. So we're going to just subtract 1 from it. Snowdrift flake 0 minus equals 1. Ooh, 1. So even though it's a 4 pixel wide snowflake, once it reaches that height, it's only go up by 1 pixel. So it's going to build up the snow very, very slowly. What we actually need to do is draw all of those elements. So for snow in snowdrift, actually I'm going to use the range here. And the reason I'm going to use the range feature here is because I actually want to have an index. So snow height equals snow drift snow, because that's actually a snow position. Snow position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, and line will take the surface. It will take a color which will have as white. So 255, 255, 255. And it's going to take a start position, which will be a pair of numbers. And the start position is going to be the snow position, and it's going to be the distance. So that's the distance across. Now the distance down will be snow height, like that, and then it will go to snow position height of the screen, i.e. 500. So that will mostly draw a series of vertical lines down the screen. And I believe that's all we have to do. So I'm going to give that a run, and I haven't tested this out before, and it crashed. Excellent. That there needs to be len around that, as I'm not doing a for each. And the reason I need to can't do a for each is because I actually want to remember my counter. I could do a for x in snowdrift, have a counter I, and then add one to the I, but it's just easier for me to do that. List is not snow position. That's because that is an array, not a callable. Like that. Snowdrift flake 0. So that's basically saying the index of that array, which probably means this output here is producing a number which is too big. So what I'm just going to do very quickly is work out if I made a mistake here, and this is the issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print off that value and see what it is. It comes up as 500. So yeah, that's definitely a problem, because here this would have gone from 0 to 499, and basically I'm just going to add 1 there. Nice and easy. So what we're going to see here at the bottom is the snow is beginning to pile up, and you can see the bigger chunks are actually, it may look slightly wrong, because it's not, the big chunks don't deposit the same amount of mass of snow. But if we let that run a little bit, we'll begin to see the snow is beginning to pile up very slowly, pixel by pixel at the bottom there. And that's it, really. That's a nice little addendum to the game, or this thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my print statement out, but also I'm going to start building ins to actually build some edge detection in to work out where I put the nativity scene. I've got my nativity, my advent calendar. I've got the Christmas tree in the middle, and what I want to happen is when it lands on the Christmas tree, it actually builds upon the Christmas tree and not down below. Now to do that, I'll have to know what the minimum height is, so I'm not drawing a line from the top straight to the bottom of the screen, but instead I'm building up a more general snowflake, and then I also have to stop the snowflakes on behind showing as well, because I'm only doing some of my foreground snowflakes. There are some limitations to this theory. You might want to consider, if you ever build this yourself, saying that, well, if one spike here gets too tall, it should flow down, it should maybe reduce itself and put someone to the neighbouring cells. Otherwise what you end up with is one spike getting large, and because there's a wind factor, you get snowflakes hitting the side of the spike, making one spike larger and larger. So you will see some spikes getting very large, and they'll continue to get large, and end up with a shadow on the other side where the snow isn't hitting it because it's hit the spike. And again, you could apply a filter on this, basically running across and sort of leveling out the snow. You could also say that if the snow lands, does it affect snow on either side, and that should give you a better formation of snow on the bottom there. But it works as a snow. We have snow coming down the screen, and we have a snowdrift building at the bottom of the screen, a very simplistic snowdrift building. And that's it. That's it for today. See you all tomorrow.